As 2020 began, Richfield United Methodist Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, spent Sunday mornings gathered to worship God and socialize together in 2 worship services on a beautiful campus. It was great. Then came the month of March, and concerns about a dangerous global pandemic made their way to Minnesota. Things changed. The church would have to be closed. Worship would have to be canceled. Only the church is a people, and the church is never closed. Buildings close, but not the church. Likewise, worship isn't canceled. In-person worship is suspended, and worship continues online and by touch-tone phone. Here's how we did it. From 2015 to 2017, Richfield UMC got innovative and live-streamed worship online with modest viewership. But it's been 3 years since that experiment ceased. Now, churches aren't always great at getting rid of old equipment. Take, for example, these slide carousels we still have for some reason. But this time it paid off. Using the old camcorder still collecting dust on a tripod in the tech booth, we fired up the old computer, tweaked the software, and on March 15, we were able to live stream worship online, never missing a Sunday of worship even when the building had to close due to pandemic. It was a relief that even if we couldn't be together for a few weeks in person, we could still be worshiping together. Only, turns out it would be more than a few weeks. As Easter Sunday approached, it became clear we could take the workable solution we dusted off and upgrade it to build a great all-season solution that matched the production quality standards of today. That meant upgrading to a multi-camera system, broadcasting in high definition, with a more powerful computer to handle the live stream, and a way to include those who have no internet access at all. In April, a team researched options and created a proposal to purchase all new equipment and laid out a timeline for the installation process. Meanwhile, we discovered phone live streaming, a new service that allows people to worship by touch-tone phone. Now we have a toll-free number so people can worship from anywhere in the world by either calling in when worship is scheduled to begin or by opting in to receive an automated call when worship goes live online. Now nobody is left out. On May 12th, the elected leaders of Ad Board voted unanimously to approve the tech upgrade plan. Equipment was ordered that very night. It arrived, was installed, tested, and live streaming worship in high definition from the Richfield UMC sanctuary debuted on May 31st, 2020, Pentecost Sunday. Two PTZ high-definition cameras were mounted at the east end of the sanctuary under the balcony soffit. PTZ stands for Pan Tilt Zoom, so the cameras have maximum flexibility to follow the action and get close-up for detail. They are high-definition image quality and have a 20-time optical zoom lens to catch detail from across the sanctuary easily. The cameras are mounted on 2 wooden fixtures, left over from the 1980s when the church used to broadcast worship on local TV. The fixtures cover conduit pipe that leads directly into the tech booth, making installation of all the cabling from camera to computer simple. Again, sometimes it actually pays off when a church isn't great at getting rid of old equipment. Well, except maybe those slide carousels. The cameras are hooked up to a new PC and dual monitor setup. This is connected to the main soundboard via a mini digital soundboard, plus there's a joystick controller and a keypad gives the operator freedom of any angle and the ability to create preset shots. A second computer handles the phone live stream, ensuring both online worshipers and touch-tone phone worshipers get a clear broadcast every time. It's a fact. No one could have foreseen the positive impact of leaving an old camera and computer in the tech booth years after we stopped live streaming worship. No one could have foreseen the need to keep the conduit pipe from the sanctuary to the tech booth intact over 30 years since it was last used. And no one could have foreseen we would need funding for an expensive, mission-critical project like a tech upgrade so we could continue to worship together online for months because of a global pandemic. The funding came from a newly arrived bequest, a legacy gift to the church with no designated parameters. The gift was made simply to be used to further the mission of the church. No one would have ever made a legacy gift to purchase cameras to worship online due to a pandemic. That's an unforeseen need. Yet the mission of the church is ongoing, and while buildings close, the church is the people, and the church is always open. A generous person who left a legacy gift to their church, as well as a dedicated tech crew, visionary elected leaders, a creative worship design team, and you as a congregation with open hearts and open minds came together as the church to rise to the occasion. We've come a long way from our original experiment in live streaming worship with modest participation a few years ago to the higher production values of today with a higher than average worship attendance than in-person worship in recent years. We are reaching new people. Someday, people will be able to worship in person on campus once again, safely and consistently. And even when this day comes, we will still have people who will worship online or by touch-tone phone. That means we will always be a two-campus church, and we commit to resourcing each accordingly to live into our mission to empower all people to live in faith, justice, and joy. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your support. And thank you for worshiping as Richfield United Methodist Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Anybody want some slide carousels? No? Okay.